I'm going to go over a few tickers starting with the triple Qs on the 5-minute time frame. We ended the week at $518.66, up 0.87%. To the north side from where we are takes us to two standard deviations, which is roughly 524.85. Another level of resistance takes us to 529.84, and above that 535.11. To the south side takes us back to the middle of the trend, the baseline. I'm going to mark that out at 514.59. Below that, 504.13, 499.15, and roughly 493.97. This is another level of support and a potential buy-in area as well. Looking left, note the sell-off here at when we're up here, going down, that's resistance. And then the sell-off, this is support, but we fell through that and then bounced off of this level of support, went up and then started to go sideways, but kind of going down as well. And then went down another leg and then bounced off of this level of support. We have many gaps that closed that I talked about. And let's start with this upper one at 532.98. So we touched this one basically on the 18th and we gapped up. So when we gap up, there's a gaping hole, and I always mark it out for myself, usually if they're bigger ones. And this one was a bigger one, so I anticipate it to close whenever we reverse course, and we did. So that is no longer in play, but that took us down right here to 530.63. So both of these price labels you can delete. We hit the target, unfortunately for some of us. See, it looks like it touched right there, but it's more like that one. Same day though. All right, and then what about this one that took us down to 527? That one opened up on roughly Friday the 13th. We gapped up whenever we reverse course. I anticipated to close, and it did on the 18th of December. So that is no longer in play. If you went short and you made some money, congrats. Then this one, we continued to bleed out, but the charts showed us that that might happen, and unfortunately it did if you like to go short. So that touched at 520.60, so no longer in play to the downside, which is good because you want these things to close out so they don't come back and haunt you. This one opened up on the 4th of December and closed roughly on the 18th. We had many gaps close out because we tanked right here. That was a big fall. Well, let's see how big that fall was. So let's just take this top point to this gap. Oh wait, yeah, I'm going to take it to this one because that closed out too. That is down 5%. Actually, it felt a lot bigger than that, but still 5.40%. Let me delete that. So let's clean up this last one. Make this just a little bit bigger so I can grab the box there. All right, that took us down to 510.02, and that one opened up also on Monday the 2nd. Well, that was the 3rd for the other ones. All right, delete. No longer in play, no longer a threat to our account to the south side. There are always threats, but just not those threats. And what happened here? Why do I have this hanging out here doing nothing? You can just tell when things look off, and this one does. So let me delete that. But I saw, oh, what is this? Oh, there was a gap here that I never extended, but I tracked starting the 8th of October. So where did that touch? Let's take this to the 15-minute time frame so I can see more of my chart. See, on the 15, we are still going up. But look at all the gaps. Oops. Command Z if you want to redo that. All of the gaps that need to fill to the south side if and when we retrace. So there you have it. But right now, still slowly making our way up. This is just within the range. 2 standard deviations to -2. We could get another leg up, or we could just fall through and then slowly grind our way down. But the middle of the trend, let me go back to the 15, or the 5 from the 15, option R. So on the 5, we are still going down. All right. So watch out for those targets. And this one could touch a solid touch, maybe Monday the 23rd appears if we continue to go south. All right, so that's the triple Qs. Oh, let me just give you on the daily price target really quick. So I've marked out some middle of the trends on the 5-minute. I don't know, maybe we could grind within this region and just go sideways, but right here is where we are, middle of the trend on the daily. The upper band takes us to 548.14. 539 is our 52-week high. And to the south side, because there's always a south side, that will take us down to roughly 490.74. Enough of the triple Qs. Let's go to SPY. All right, let's first give you some price targets. VWAP 590.22, by the way. Okay, to the upside, 595.76, 632, and then we've got this upper band at roughly 604.89. Right, and I will mark this out for myself. If we go sideways, instead of continue to go down, that'd be lovely. 577.30, 572.74, 568.11. Resistance falling down to bounce off support, bounce off support. Now let's talk about these gaps. So we had this one open up on the 16th, Monday the 16th. Again, I just extend. I have no idea when it's going to touch, and it did, well, on Monday as well. So that is done. And then we have this gap, and that touched, so it's no longer a threat. It closed out at 602.68, opened up on December the 11th. Delete. And then we have this one opened up on Friday the 29th, and it touched on the 18th. So this is no longer in play as well. And note, all we did is we went up, down a little, back up, and then basically retracing our steps down, bleeding us out. Now, what happened to this gap? This one opened up on the 6th. So I anticipate it to fill whenever price reverses. And that one is still in play to the downside, not closed out just yet. And then after that, we've got this one. And this one is going to be in play for this upcoming week, Monday the 23rd. And then this one, if we continue to go south. And, oh, and we've got this little baby one taking us to 559.02, and then this one, oh boy, down to 505.06. So just be aware, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close, but something to be aware of. Now I'm going to go over BlackBerry, Crackberry here. Let's talk about what's happening. I just did a video on this, but now I'm going to give you an update because it ran 23%. We ended the week at 369. Congratulations if you made some money there. 383, 403, and the upper band takes us to 422 for Monday. To the south side, 354. VWAP is 354. Another level to watch out for. Many levels in between. I'm just calling out a couple obvious ones. 304, 285, and then 265. Now looking left, all we did for the longest time is just grind sideways, doing nothing, wasting our money, wasting our time. But let's clean this one up. Let me move this. So I have, I got one there too, many gaps. So this one closed to the downside at 226. It opened up on Monday, September 9th. Again, and closed on October 31st. So that's done. Clean that up. Then I see this one needs to be cleaned up right here. Is that a win for the down? Yeah, I'll give it to that gap closure. Give it to the shorts. 249. Done. There's a gap. I don't know. Oh yeah, this gap. So tiny. Oh, and then we have this gap. So it's really important just to, we gapped. What happened here? Down. Oh, so I have this, the wrong color, in the wrong color. I could just tell there's something off. That didn't close all the way. I'm going to extend it there. That took us to 254. We ran up some more. So we have this one that I'm going to, let's just give it to that one, to that point. 224, no longer in play. And this one closed, done at 236-ish. Let's go to the 15 so you can see this better. So this one is still in play to the downside, but we are moving up. So that's good. And then we've got a couple of gaps here that, closed out. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at this, even though I did it recently, I think. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Oh, I have to talk about this. All right, I'll talk about my trade here. Let me hit Option R. Oh, and then we've got a gap to the upside. That will take us to 409, and that will be at past 4, maybe almost 5 standard deviations to close out. And I bought in right here at 262. So I had considered selling out because I'm up 40% on this lot. But unfortunately, I bought this lot a long time ago. Let me delete that. And I was just going to clear the plate, get rid of it, but I have a hard time selling. It's so funny. I overstay my welcome sometimes on these plays, but I'm hoping maybe to get off at 410. So I have a target set at 410 to get me out of this lot. And then I'm going to unload this and then unload that is what I'm going to do. That's my story, and I'm sticking with that one. All right, let's extend that out because we've got a gap that will take us to 468 as well, but that's not in the channel, not in the zone, and not even close. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and very quickly, is I'm going to show you my settings. So where am I? So here are my indicators. Oh, let me do the drop down. So I have the linear regression and VWAP. I'm just going to delete all of this, and I'll show you how I get it on my screen. So there, I've removed everything. So what you do is, you go to, indicators. Oh, you can't see it because I'm recording part of the screen, but at the upper bar here, it says indicators. Do the drop down menu. I've already starred the things that I like to look at, even though I should delete half of these because I don't use it. So VWAP is this one. Oops. So VWAP, just start typing it in and then hit the star and it'll show up for you. All right, and then the other one is, I'm gonna hit under indicators, just start typing linear. Okay, and there it is. And I'm gonna do this, well, I'm gonna do it just once. If you've never used this before, do not overcomplicate your chart. This right here from where we are is support. And it recolored this because normally I put it in green. So I'm gonna have to do all this all over again for you guys. But just know this is the middle of the trend, the upper channel, the lower channel. And this is a sell signal. Above that is another sell signal. And if it gets above that, another sell signal. But to play it conservatively, then this is a support channel. If it goes down here and potentially it could bounce or hit this level of support and then bounce off of that. But in order to change the color, I changed the input. Let me see, where is this? Oh, it's this one. I like to go red for the upper, red, white, and blue. But the green I want to do, let's see, I haven't done this in so long, I forget how to do it. So, I want to do 2 standard deviations, and the length is at 300. The standard TradingView, I don't know, the length that it defaults to is 100. I change it to 300. You can do the default, but I make the band a little bit wider, okay? So then I will save as the default, but I want to change this color. So I double clicked on it and that is red. So I want to change that color to green. See how that changed to green? And then, the standard that they like to do is the, what do they call it? The opacity. I'm going to show you what happens. So when you play this, normally it will do this, but I don't want to see it. So I put it to 0 basically, and then you can change however the opacity to make it opaque. But basically this bottom channel is your buy channel. The upper channel is your sell channel. All right. Now, if you want to do more lines, then you would go up to your indicator, hit linear regression 1, 2 more times. Now, again, it's going to have a default setting, which I have changed it out to 300. So make sure now what you're going to do is you're going to go 2, 3, and 4 standard deviations. So that, is going to change to 3. And then 3 for the lower. All right, and then I'm going to hit save as default for just now, but I'm going to change this color. And I like it to go red, white. Let's see, red, white, and save. Now I'm going to hit save as default. Okay, and then the third one is, again, 300, but it's 2, 3, and 4 for standard deviations. All right. And then what you're going to do is go back to the color and red, white, and blue. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the green. I touched, or I hit the wrong one. So let me do it again. So this outer band, you can play around. If you're not happy with it, what you did, just hit the reset button, the default button. This should be blue now. Okay, and that's how I like it. You can see how I made this opaque. And if I wanted to do that with the red there, I would turn this, slide this, and see how that's the bottom and that's the upper. If I want to do it in yellow, you can do it. Whatever color you like, whatever suits your fancy. All right. Oh, I changed that on accident. So, well, not accident, it changed also that, but I want that line to be red. So there we go. Okay, and that is my setting. I'm going to make this not opaque, but you can keep this opaque if you want. So that way, you know, like your radar should go off. This is my buy zone. This bottom half, my sell zone is the next half. And then this is the outer channel. But don't bank on tickers to go to these outer channels on the 5 minute. And if they do, they might get reset by the end of the day to the lower channel. All right. And that is my settings for, let me change this. I think I need to do it right here. Watch me mess up, but that's okay. That's not the one. So then I'm going to change that. But if you don't want to pay for a TradingView account, because you can get a couple of indicators for free, don't bother setting this outer channel, because most of the time it's not going to get to that channel, to that level. And if it does, it will again reset. You don't have to pay for it. Keep it simple. And if you do want a TradingView account where you can have 5 indicators instead of, I think, the 3 or 4 that they give you, I do have a link on some of my videos I've made that you can buy a subscription. And I have a subscription, and I really don't need it, because the more things that you put on your chart, the more complicated it can get. I feel all you need to do is get one standard deviation and one bottom indicator down here. That I think they call that I forget the word for it, but I use the RSI most often. All right, and that does it for me. If there is something that you would like me to cover, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great trading day.